The 3 steps to overcome any fear. We've all been there. You're staring at a blank page. Maybe it's a business plan, the first chapter of a novel, or that email to your boss asking for the promotion you know you deserve. Your heart starts beating just a little too fast. A voice in your head begins its familiar chant, "What if I fail? What if they laugh? What if I'm not good enough?" And just like that, the dream, the one that felt so real and exciting a second ago, starts to dissolve. The laptop closes. The dream goes back on the shelf. Maybe tomorrow, you tell yourself. That feeling, that paralysis, that's fear. And it is the single biggest thing killing your dreams and keeping you stuck. It's the invisible cage built around the person you're meant to become. But what if I told you that in the next few minutes you'll learn a simple, 3-step psychological process to pick the lock on that cage? A method to not just face what scares you, but to use that fear as fuel to finally start winning. First, let's get one thing straight. Feeling fear doesn't make you weak or broken. It makes you human. Fear is a natural, ancient survival mechanism. It's a feature, not a bug. Deep in your brain, you have the amygdala. Think of it as your brain's ancient alarm system. Some people call it the lizard brain, and its only job is to scan for threats and keep you safe. Thousands of years ago, this was incredibly useful. It's what stopped our ancestors from trying to pet a saber-toothed tiger. The problem is, that part of your brain is running on old tech. It hasn't had a software update in a few millennia. So today, it can't tell the difference between a real, life-threatening danger, like a tiger, and a symbolic one, like the possibility of being rejected or failing at something new. To your amygdala, the fear of public speaking can trigger the same fight-or-flight response as being chased. Your palms get sweaty, your heart races, your mind goes blank, all because your brain is screaming danger when you're just trying to present a PowerPoint. And this is where we get stuck. This is the pain point. We start avoiding not just things that are truly dangerous, but things that are simply uncomfortable or uncertain. We dodge the job interview, the difficult conversation, the first step toward a healthier life. Our unconfronted fears become the boundaries of our lives. The cost of this is huge. It's the business that never gets started, the book that never gets written, the life that remains unlived, all because we're held hostage by an outdated alarm system. It's a quiet tragedy, the slow burn of a life lived in the comfort zone, which is really just a zone of stagnation. So, how do we finally update the software? How do we break the cycle? It's not about becoming fearless. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's taking action in spite of fear. And it all comes down to a simple, 3-step process you can start using today. The solution, the 3-step framework. First, you have to stop letting fear be this vague, monstrous cloud that hangs over you. You have to drag it out into the light and give it a name. Psychologists agree that just labeling your fear is the first step to taming it. It's a process of externalization. You are not your fear. You are the one experiencing the feeling of fear. So instead of saying, "I'm scared," try this. "I am experiencing the fear of rejection." Instead of, "I'm afraid of starting a business," get specific. "I am feeling the fear that I'll lose my savings if my business fails." See the shift? That small change in language creates distance. It separates you from the fear. It's like taking the monster out from under the bed and switching on the lights. You realize it's not some shapeless, all-powerful entity. It's a specific, definable thing. And anything that can be defined can be dealt with. Here's your action item for this step. Right now, think of one thing you're afraid of. Got it? Now name it, isolate it, write it down. Don't just write fear of failure. What kind of failure? Whose judgment do you fear? Get crystal clear. This act of naming is the first and most critical step in taking back control. Once you've named the beast, it's time to dismantle it. This is where you challenge the story your fear is telling you, because your fear is a fantastic fiction writer. It specializes in worst-case scenarios and catastrophic endings. Your job is to become a better editor. A powerful way to do this is with a technique you can call catch it, check it, change it. First, catch the thought. You already did this by naming it. Next, check it. Interrogate the narrative. Ask yourself 3 simple questions. What is the absolute worst thing that could happen? What is the absolute best thing that could happen? What is the most realistic and likely outcome? Let's use that fear of asking for a raise. The worst case, your boss laughs you out of the office and fires you on the spot. The best case, they say yes immediately and offer you even more. But the most realistic scenario, they'll probably say something like, "Thanks for bringing this to me. Let me look at the budget and I'll get back to you." When you lay it out like this, the catastrophic story your fear was spinning starts to sound a little ridiculous. Finally, you change it. You actively reframe the meaning. The biggest reframe you can make is to see failure not as an endpoint, but as a data point. If you ask for the raise and get a no, it's not a verdict on your worth, it's feedback. It's information. Maybe you need to build a stronger case, or maybe it's a sign that it's time to find a new company that values you properly. If this is already starting to click, and you can feel what's possible when fear isn't in the driver's seat, consider hitting that subscribe button. We're all on this journey of growth together, and I post new practical videos every week to help you build a life you're genuinely excited to live. The first two steps are about your mindset. This third step is all about your behavior. You can't just think your way out of fear, you have to act your way out of it. Courage is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The mistake most of us make is thinking we need to take some massive, heroic leap. We try to go from being terrified of the gym to working out 7 days a week. That's just a recipe for overwhelm, which only reinforces the fear. The secret is to build momentum with micro-commitments. The goal is to make the first step so ridiculously small, it feels almost silly not to do it. This is inspired by the 2-minute rule. Whatever your scary goal is, break it down into something you can do in 2 minutes. Want to write that book? Your action is to open a document and write 1 sentence. Want to start a business? Your action is to spend 2 minutes Googling one potential competitor. Want to finally start meditating? Your action is to just sit down and focus on your breath for 2 full inhales and exhales. Anyone can do something for 2 minutes. This isn't about achieving the goal all at once. It's about becoming the kind of person who takes action. It's about building the identity of someone who shows up. Each micro-commitment is a vote for your new, courageous self. It sends a message to your brain, "Hey, I did the scary thing and I didn't die." Each time you do this, you're rewiring your brain, teaching your amygdala that this situation isn't a life or death threat. Each small win builds confidence, and confidence is the ultimate antidote to fear. So the next time fear shows up, you don't have to run from it or fight it. You just dance with it using this 3-step process. First, you isolate and externalize it. Give the fear a name so you can see it clearly. Second, you reframe and shrink it. Challenge the story and turn failure into feedback. And third, you create momentum with micro-commitments. Take a ridiculously small first step to build the habit of action. Remember, fear isn't your enemy. It's a compass. It almost always points directly toward the areas where you have the most room to grow. The magic you're looking for, the success you crave, the life you dream of, it's all hiding just on the other side of your comfort zone. Your dreams aren't being killed by your circumstances. They're being held back by a story you've been telling yourself. The fear might never go away completely, but you will get stronger. You will become more courageous. You will learn to see that feeling not as a stop sign, but as a green light, signaling that something amazing is just ahead. It's time to write a new story. If you're ready to start writing that new story today, let me know in the comments. What's the one fear you're going to face this week using these 3 steps? Sharing it makes it real. And if you want to dive even deeper into building unshakable confidence, check out the resources I've linked in the description. Thanks for watching. Now go take that first small step.